My dear students, today we are going to do a poem Wandering Singers written by Sarojini Naidu. So let's begin with this poem.
Wandering Singers. It is a very beautiful poem. So, first of all, let's discuss the title of this poem. Wandering Singers. It is talking about all those singers who are traveling from one place to another, and they are traveling in small groups. They travel from village to village, from town to town, singing songs. And we can also say these singers folk singers. Folk singers are the people or the singers who sing about rich heritage of India, its customs and tradition. And these people they have a different outlook to the life. They believe in universal harmony and spread the message of love wherever they go. They are giving hope to people. They do not have a permanent house. They do not believe any emotional attachment to a place. So let's begin with the first stanza where the voice of the wind calls our wandering feet through echoing forest and echoing street. With lutes in our hands, ever singing we roam. All men are kindred, the world is our home. In stanza number 1, it is given that the wandering singers they travel from one place to another. Now, who directs their travel? See, they do not have any plan, any schedule, but they are traveling. It is directed by the voice of the winds. Voice of the wind directs and leads them through their destination. So they go wherever they feel like going. They lead a very carefree life. They travel wherever they are going. That includes various forests and different streets, and as they sing their songs in the forest and trees, their voice echoes. So, echo is repetition and imitation of sound. Their sounds do not stop at all. It keeps on echoing. They use different instruments to make their music melodious. Now, lute. Lute word is given. It is basically a musical instrument and it is similar just like a sitar or you can say guitar. And a it is just like a musical instrument. Wandering singers they carry a lute in their hands and they roam. They move from one place to another. They have different destination, and while moving to their destinations they are singing their songs wherever they are roaming. And what is the reason why they are moving from one place to another? The reason is only to spread the message of universal brotherhood. See, they do not have any fixed destination. They are living in harmony with everyone. And they are happy, they are satisfied, they are contented with their life. And whole of the entire world is their home. Now I'm going to discuss the poetic devices which are used in stanza number 1. So my dear students, you just go through the first line of the poem where the voice of the wind calls our wandering feet. So in this line you can see that poetic device alliteration is used. Why so? Because see, where wandering, where wind wandering, w and w has been repeated, so here alliteration poetic device is used. So you mark on your books that in first line we have used there is one poetic device used, that is alliteration. So next, voice of the wind. Voice of the wind, that is also a one. There is also one poetic device is used, that is metaphor. Okay. There is one poetic device, that is personification. See, personification is a poetic device that is used to attribute human qualities to inanimate objects and non-human beings. Okay, so here voice of the wind, their personification, poetic device has been used. Clear? Now let's move to stanza number 2. In stanza number 2, so let's read stanza 2. Our lays are of cities whose luster is shed, the laughter and beauty of women long dead. The sword of all battles, the crown of all kings, and happy and simple and sorrowful things. Now, in these 4 lines, the poet is talking about various themes of this wandering singers. See, basically, what is the theme here? Here, the word is given lay. So, lays here means songs. So, there are songs of wandering singers, and there in these 4 lines the various themes are discussed. First of all, you write down the meanings of these difficult words. Here, lays means songs, and luster. Basically, the meaning of luster is shine. But according to this stanza, the meaning of luster will be the past glories of the city that has been faded away. Okay, so there were some cities which were very much famous, but now they are not so famous anymore. Why so? Because the women who have died long ago, and there were some historical events and battles. These songs talk about the heroic deeds of the king, armies, and the battles that were fought in the past, the rise and the fall of the kingdom, the victory and the defeat these kings faced. After this, the carnation of all these kings and all the deeds they did in order to be famous. That is the crowns and the swords of the old battles. All the things are discussed in these 4 lines. So basically, in these 4 lines, the themes are discussed of the songs which are sung by wandering singers. They are singing about cities whose luster is who are completely faded away, and they are singing about the women who were completely dead, and now they are singing the theme of their beautiful beauty, and they are singing about their laughter. They are missing it, and after that they are in their songs there is they are talking about the heroic deeds of the kings and the queens, sorry, the kings and the armies and the battles which were fought long ago in the past. So all these things, the rise and fall, all the things are discussed, are talked about in their poem, in their songs. So in the last, sorrowful things. So sorrowful things, there is a one poetic device that is used. We have personification. Okay, personification is used here. Why personification? Because again I'm telling you, personification is a poetic device that is used to attribute human qualities to inanimate objects and non-human beings. So sorrowful things, here personification has been used. Now let's move to next concluding lines. What hope shall we gather? What dreams shall we sow? Where the wind calls our wandering footsteps we go. No love bids us tarry, no joy bids us wait. The voice of the wind is the voice of our fate. So dear student, first of all underline difficult words, write down its meaning. Here the word bids is given. Bids means asks or commands. Tarry. The meaning of tarry means to go slow. So in these 4 concluding lines you can see, what hopes shall we gather, what dreams shall we sow. So which poetic device is used here? See here W and W has been repeated so many times. So here alliteration has been used. Now you can read the next line very carefully. Where the wind calls our wandering footsteps we go. Again W and W, where where, wind, wandering, we, W and W have been repeated 4 times. So here alliteration poetic device has been used. So now I'm going to explain last 2 lines. See, in these concluding lines, the poet is giving us hope and joy. See, what hope shall we gather, what dreams shall we sow, where the wind calls our wandering footstep we go. So the poet is saying that they do not have any hope, they do not have any aspiration. They believe that their hopes are for those people who are listening to their songs. Their life is guided by the call of the wind. So, wind is the one which decides their fate. They do not have the family and they do not have any bond of love. They do not have any moment of happiness or joy. No love bids us tarry, no joy bids us wait. The voice of the wind is the voice of our fate. So it means nothing can stop them. Wandering singers, they keep on traveling from one place to another. They expect the life in totality and open the things to anything and everything, that is what is thrown by them by fate or destiny. See, their fate and destiny is guided by the wind, and they consider that if they are going from one place to another, this is their job. They do not have any emotional attachment with the place, they do not have any emotional attachment with the people, they do not get any love and happiness from those people. So this is all about last concluding lines. So now let's move to first stanza. Let's discuss about the rhyme scheme which is used in this poem. So in first stanza, the last rhyming words are feet and street. After that we have roam and home. So it means the rhyme scheme is AA, then BB. Now let's move to next stanza. So in this second stanza, shed and dead, both are rhyming words. Then we have kings and things. So shed and dead, CC, kings and things, DD. Now in last 4 lines, so and go, EE, and wait and fate, FF. So basically the rhyme scheme of this poem is AA, BB, CC, DD, EE, FF. Feet and street are rhyming, roam and home are rhyming, shed and dead, kings and things, so and go, wait and fate. So these are the rhyming words. So this beautiful poem is written by Sarojini Naidu. Hope my dear students have understood this poem. See, Sarojini Naidu, she is also known as the Nightingale of India. She was a poet, freedom fighter and a patriot. And her poems are simply based on the beauty of simple joys and sorrows of life. And her poetry included children's poem, nature poems, poems on love and death. And you all have gone through this poem, Wandering Singer. So this beautiful poem is written by Sarojini Naidu. Hope my dear students have understood this poem. Go through this poem 2 or 3 times and write down the summary of this poem in your own words. Okay.